Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints quarterback, future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer has officially retired after 15 years with the Saints, after 20 years in the NFL, a remarkable career. Kind of a sad ending last couple of years. A couple of these Saints teams last couple of years were really good, but they melted down late, whether it be Miracles by Minnesota and others and whatnot, and that Rams game 2 years ago and all that. Lots of conversation about Drew Brees and his legacy. I know we've had some of these conversations on this podcast over the course last couple of years with Kyle and Big Jim and a couple other guys that come on the pod. Even I've done some solo stuff talking about Drew Brees. I mean, I like Drew Brees a lot. Obviously a guy who did look like your typical quarterback. He was 6 feet tall, very short, but yet got the job done. All-time passing leader, all that. I have a hard time, to be honest, in recent years, talk about his legacy because he's obviously an all-time great. That's not even a question. He's Hall of Famer, first ballot, you name it. There's conversation about him being top 10, though. He does have a Super Bowl. That saves him a little bit. But so is Eli Manning. In fact, Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls, and he was nowhere as good as Drew Brees, obviously. So how do we assess this? I consider Dan Marino a top 5 quarterback in the league, even though he never won a Super Bowl, and in fact only went to one. And the one Super Bowl he went to in the second year against San Francisco, he got blown the hell out by Joe Montana. But then again, that Niners team was an all-time great team too. The 84 Niners team, check them out. Pre-Jerry Rice. They were amazing. But I've had a lot of difficulty assessing Drew Brees. Is he all-time great in terms of top 10? Is he maybe a little bit out of the top 10? Like, I've considered Brett Favre not a top 10 quarterback. I always said Brett Favre was a little overrated. Sometimes I feel like people overrate Drew Brees also, too, to some degree. Yeah, he has those stats and all that. But, again, you can argue, guys like him, even Tom Brady to some extent, although the amount of winning he does kind of saves his ass, honestly. But, with Drew Brees, like, he's obviously great, but I heard people say he's a top 5 all time. Like, no, he ain't that good. Stop. Is he a top 10 quarterback? I guess. I don't know. I mean, if I would consider him a top 10 quarterback, he's probably number 10, right? I mean, is he better than... Okay, he's not better than Tom Brady. He's not better than Joe Montana. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers. He's not better than Peyton Manning. Is he better than Dan Marino? I would take Dan Marino over him 1 day a week. I don't give a shit about the Super Bowls he won or Super Bowl he won. I still take Dan Marino over him. Is he better than John Elway? I don't think so. I probably think about Brett Favre. I mean, Patrick Mahomes will probably at some point be in that conversation. As his resume grows, he's better. I already put Mahomes ahead of Drew Brees. I mean, it's difficult, and then you have all the old timers. The Johnny Unitas. Oh, by the way, my headphones came out of my ears. Sorry about that. Then you have obviously the older timers, Otto Grahams, and all those guys. Johnny U, like I said. And you have a conversation there, But, is he top 10? Maybe, I guess. He'd probably be number 10 for me. That was something discussed today on First Take. I was going to get the clip of it, actually, but didn't have a chance to do that. I've been really busy today, actually, honestly. But a clip of argument between Max Kellerman and, Stephen A. and Dan Orlovsky about Drew Brees. And Max actually kind of sort of made a case for him not being in the upper all-time greats. You can make a case, I guess. I don't know. It feels weird. I've been critical of Drew Brees in recent years, but some of his stances on not so much a stance, but more because he has a right to stand how you want to stand, but more so the situation, with the kneeling, all that, and kind of sound tone deaf. But he's forgiven, of course, for that. Because he's Drew Brees. He's good. He's done a lot in the community in New Orleans. He can't hate on that. I'm a Drew Brees fan, absolutely. My wife loves him. She was actually pretty sad that when he retired. So, but yeah, is he top 10 quarterback? I guess. I don't know. It's tough. Like those numbers, obviously numbers are numbers, and he can't control the era because the game changed. The game really changed where it was suited for offenses to do well. I always say, Matt Schaub was probably one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in history in the league. Actually mostly bad when he was a starter quarterback in Houston. had great numbers a couple of years. So we can't use the numbers as the only be-all, end-all in terms of assessing, that. But Drew Brees did a lot of winning. I think the back end of career too. Also, while he didn't win the big one again, those Saints teams actually did pretty good with him. So that helps his case too. So, but look, he'll be in Canton. We're gonna see you in Canton, Drew. I mean, he's gonna be in Canton without question. I mean, anybody that disputes whether he's a Hall of Famer, and not only that, a first ballot Hall of Famer is ludicrous. The guy is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer without question. The only conversation here we're having is whether or not he is a top 10 quarterback all time, and he's definitely on the fringe. I mean, I'll say yes, that's cause, but if you argue no, I'm not gonna hold that against you either. Because I can see the case for that either. You go through all the list of great quarterbacks in this league, it gets tough. And like I said, a guy like Dan Marino, who may not have won a Super Bowl, but he's damn sure the most talented. And some of those teams, Dolphin teams he had, were just not good enough to compete. So a lot of context matters in all this. But salute to Drew Brees, phenomenal 20 years, 15 years. No one thought this guy would be as good as he was. So the fact that Drew Brees is even discussed in the top 10, considering him coming to the league, and he was a good quarterback, but we never thought, when he was in San Diego, we never thought that he'd be even in this conversation. And a lot of that's due to Sean Payton, honestly. Sean Payton in that offense really benefited, Drew Brees' career. Not knocking Drew Brees, obviously, for that, but just the reality of the situation. So, anyway, like I said, we'll see him in Canton, obviously.